Remember, though, too, when the governor signed this plan early this morning, now he was touting this as the most aggressive plan in the nation. Now, for the governor, this new law is also the final result of a long fight to try and curb this crisis that's killed more than 800 Arizonans since June. Now, the measure limits first fill opioid prescriptions to 5 days, boosts pain clinic regulations, and adds $10 million to help uninsured or underinsured pay for addiction treatment. Now, the bill represents also a rare feat in Arizona politics, a major piece of legislation passing with bipartisan support. Still, there are worries tonight about unintended consequences for patients who need opioids for chronic pain, and concerns that this is just feel-good legislation that doesn't really address the scope of the crisis.
So we've had people who have been addicted to opioids for years and years, and we're going to slap a Band-Aid on it and say, well, here's $10 million and this is what we're going to do, and it doesn't even scratch the surface of where we're really at.
Now, parts of this legislation will not fully take effect until 2019, but the bulk of this bill will take effect in 90 days, and that's to give places time to change their policies and procedures that are in place right now.
What she's saying is kind of crazy, because 90 days, what's that do? You cut the opiates, it either pushes people to heroin or into detox, or you just don't have, she said, we don't have the beds. And they even turned her and her son away from hospitals, saying, we don't do detox here.
Yeah,
They just don't have
these
the
are all things
resources.
I think we're going to have to follow up on, because you do look at the scope of this problem. It is big. I mean, over 800 people have died from this just since June, and that is according to the state figures that are tracking this now in real time. And again, anytime they get a report of an overdose or a death, it goes up on the website there. So we know this is a big problem, not only here but across the country. And the beds, it's a big issue, it's a big concern, and so is that concern about people who legitimately use these pain medications for chronic pain. They're worried that they're going to be affected somehow.
And by the way, in case you missed an investigative report that we aired here on 3TV yesterday showing that people who go to the doctors and doctors have said, no, we're not going to write you another prescription. They're basically going online and they are ordering these pain pills from China being delivered by the United States Postal Service. And many of those people in this investigative report overdosed on those drugs. So it is a huge issue. I know that Nicole and I are both working on some pretty big reports, special reports regarding the opioid crisis and truly what the state is having to deal with right now in so many of Arizona's families. So solid report.